Hey YouTube, Tom from Deer and Donuts. I'm here to bring you a video on sighting in your bow. Now if you're new to the channel, I urge you before we go through this one, switch over to the anatomy of a bow and also my 2 bow shop videos. I think they're going to be informative for you on what we're doing, why I'm out here doing this, and just give you a kind of an overall of, bow and if it's good to take it to the bow shop. If you're a grizzled vet and you've already seen them, awesome. Appreciate you guys coming back. This video might not be so much for you, but you never know. Maybe you're missing a little bit and you're trying to figure out why. Hopefully I can give you some tips on how to do that. Now, we're gonna go through this video. We're gonna adjust mostly our pins or talk about how to do that. A couple other things in there, but before we get to that, I wanna talk about a key piece of equipment that you're gonna need. I would strongly recommend that you go buy one of these all-in-one hex tool kits. The reason I say that is like pretty much every adjustment you make on a bow is a hex wrench or hex bolt. You're gonna need one of these. So I just picked this up, I think from Lowe's, Home Depot, one of the two. It's got 8 different wrenches on it, and all of them in one way or another work on my bow. Since they all work on my bow, I keep this with me either in my bag or wherever my hunting stuff is at the time to make adjustments, because you never know. But everything that I can adjust on here, I can do with this one tool, and I don't have to worry about losing it, misplacing it. Those little kits that have like 6 or 7 in them. If you use one of those for another project, next thing you know, you can't find it when it's time to adjust your pins, and it doesn't really do you any good out here. So go out, buy one of these, get started with this, and then we're gonna jump into how to sight. All right, so now you've got your tool. Now you wanna know, well, what do I do with it? A little trick that I've picked up over a couple of years is you can see the lines I've got here in tape on my target that go vertical. Now something that YouTube video that I watched a long time ago talked about your left and right. Your sights are going to adjust your up and down, but they don't move left to right. What moves you left to right is going to be your entire housing up here, all right, but also your whisker biscuit. But one way to check and see if you're on is, instead of trying to hit dead center and doing your up and down and your left and right at the same time, you put a line of tape down one side, doesn't matter where it's at, it can be the middle, and your whole goal is to hit dead center on that line of tape from only about 5 yards out. You don't need to be very far. The hope is that this close, you should be able to hit dead center down the tape and give yourself a good idea of whether or not your left to right is on. So let's see where we're at. All right, first one is a little left. Second one looks pretty good, so probably a little user error on one of those two. And last one's a little left. So something that we can adjust is moving our sight a little bit over. I'm gonna reset and I'm gonna talk to you about that. All right, so as you saw, I was a little left, all right? Now you might be thinking, oh, that's easy. I just gotta move something this way or that way or whatever, but maybe you don't know what you need to move, or maybe you don't know where it needs to move. One thing that you always have to remember when you're adjusting your sight is wherever you're missing, you need to move it in that direction. What I mean by that, if I'm missing a little left, I need to adjust this housing to the left. I'm adjusting it towards the direction that I'm missing. Same thing with your pins. If you're at your 20-yard pin, you're hitting high, that means your pin needs to go up, not down. You might think, oh, I need to go lower, I need to move it down, but that's not the case. Again, whatever side, left or right, up or down, that you're missing on, that's the direction that you move your sight. So for me, what I would do here, come in, take my handy dandy tool here, loosen up the bracket that holds my housing. I need to go a little bit left, and I'm going to urge you to be very gentle, because if you hit it too hard, you're going to move it a crazy amount and you're going to be starting all back over. So it's very fine tuned. All right. Same thing with your pins. Get your other tool, loosen these up, move them slightly. If you're going to come out here and shoot and adjust your bow, you want to shoot a lot. So there's no reason to try and nail it right, like, oh, I got to move it so much. Just move it a tiny bit. Shoot 3 more arrows. If it's still high or still low or still left or still right, do 3 more. Make an adjustment and just slowly do it. For one, you're going to be building up, you know, a little bit of that strength for pulling your bow back, and you're just going to get some more rounds in. So I'm going to shoot, make sure that this is straight left and right after that little adjustment, and then we're going to bump out to 20 yards. I'm going to show you some pins, and then hopefully you guys will be shooting straight, and well, so will I. All right, so while I was gone, threw 3 more downrange. They seem pretty good. We're all pretty much right in the middle of that tape. So now we're going to do our pin up and down. So again, I had to make these adjustments because my bow weight is higher, my draw length is longer, and I changed my arrows. So probably going to be relatively close, but not spot on. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to rip 3 right at the center, and we'll see where we're at. 20 yards. All right, so let's head down real quick, see what we're dealing with. Grouping's not bad. 1 right down the pipe, 1 left, a little high, another one even further left and a little higher. So we're gonna make an adjustment. We're gonna move our pin up. We'll go back and I'll show you that real quick. We'll throw 3 more and I'll get you guys out of here. All right, guys, so you've seen the first couple shots. I'm gonna be, you know, open and honest with you. I'm probably not the most bow accurate hunter that you can find out on the internet. There's a slim chance, although I'll never admit it, I might not be the most accurate bow hunter in this group.
That is correct.
But I am out here working. I'm trying to get better. The reason that I bring that up is because you saw my shots down here, okay? I've got 1 dead center. I would take that all day, every day. But then I've got 2 that are a little left and a little high. Now, the left part is what concerns me the most about my shooting, because I know my bow is shooting straight, left and right. Up and down, I can adjust that in the sight. But the point of me bringing this up is get out and shoot. Find out what your bow's doing, find out what you're doing. You know I've got to work a little bit on my release. I'm a little jerky. I need to be nice and smooth, and I'll start shooting a little bit better. But I got to come out here and practice it. As far as the height portion goes, that's what we're out here for. So take my handy dandy hex tool and just loosen my sight up. And again, you got to be careful. I don't know if you could see that move. It moved just the tiniest little bit. That's all I'm looking for. And I moved it up because I was missing high. So we tighten it back down. All right, so that's the process. Hopefully this has helped you out. I know for a lot of you, this is probably stuff you've seen before. The main thing that I guess I want people to take away if they're new to this is you got to move your sights up and down depending on the direction that you're missing. And then also I always think that little line trick to make sure that you're left and right is kind of cool. You know, when I first started sighting it in, after I bought this new bow, I never really thought about that. I did the same thing. I think a lot of people probably do. I came out and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna drill dead center. And I might miss left or right, and I'm like, oh, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with that. Then I'm adjusting up and down at the same time too, and now I'm moving too many things at one time. This is a precision game. The thing you need to do is little by little, a little bit at a time. Get your left and right set up, then go back, start moving with your up and down. 1 pin at a time. Don't move your second pin until your first one is bullseye, 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 you know, or whatever your sight your target you're looking for is. I hope you liked the video. I hope you found it informative. I'm gonna shoot a couple more. I'll probably have Matt just fast forward through a bunch of these until we get right where we wanna be with 20. And then we're gonna move out to 30 and we're gonna end up with 40. We're gonna do the exact same process all the way through. So as always, if you liked the video, do me a favor. Drop a like, subscribe if you're not, leave us a comment. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you think we can do better, what you'd like to see in the future. I'm Tom with Deer and Donuts. Bullseye.